Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got my M4 with me, and in this vid, using my new camera, which is the Canon EOS 50, I'm going to be talking about all the modifications that we've done to the M4, which is over here. It is a little bit windy, so you can probably hear a lot of, like, say, the trees rustling around. I haven't really got an external mic hooked up to my camera, so I'm just going to go with the flow and talk about all the modifications from the front of the car to the rear, as well as some performance mods that we've done to the M4. So let's go and do that right now. So guys, as you're aware, this is my M4, which I'm running alongside the G20. This has now become more of a weekend toy for me because working from home, lockdown, I'm only driving this on the weekend. This is a non-competition pack car. Obviously the main giveaway is the wheels. So before we dive into like the rest of the car modifications, let's talk about the front end. So being a non-competition pack car, the front grills are usually chrome. I've had these de-chromed, so that's a black wrap that I've had put on. I didn't go for any eBay parts because one, they're quite cheap and they start decoloring, and also the eBay ones don't come with the M4 badge up here. Now being an M car, you'd want that on there. You can go for the OEM parts, but they are super pricey compared to just getting these wrapped for a fraction of a price. And I've had these wrapped since October last year, so we've been through all the horrible weather, and the wrap is actually holding up pretty damn good, if I'm honest. So yeah, I'm just gonna rock that until the whole wrap starts peeling, if it ever does. So while we're on the subject of wrapping, I've had the lights over here as well wrapped in a medium tint. Now if I step back here, you can see how aggressive that looks. It affects visibility probably about 10%, it reduces it down, but the tint itself, again, it's hard wearing, killed a few bugs and whatnot, but yeah, it's pretty good, and just gives it a meaner look. And as we're talking about the headlights, I've also had a carbon eyebrow put on as well, just to break up the white, the tint, and give it a little bit more of an aggressive look on the lights. So down the bottom of the bumper, those are carbon canards that I've had put on. I think they make the front end again look quite complete. If you're looking at it from about here, it just makes it look quite aggressive. I didn't go for the full splitter because I've had the car lowered as well, so I didn't want to just keep on smashing it every time I hit like a pothole or a bump or a speed bump or something like that. So I just went for the canards, and I think that makes the front end look quite complete. Again, if I just step back here, it just gives it a bit more of an aggressive kind of a look. And obviously I've got my number plate put on. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my number plate, that is my Instagram as well, so you can just go and check out more pictures, rolling shots and whatnot on the M4 on my Instagram page. So one thing I didn't realise my car's got is a sunshade on the windscreen. I've had the car for about 9 months, and only about a month ago when I was cleaning it, I realised it had like a sunshade. Wasn't sure if that's an M car feature, standard feature, but never had that on any of my M Sports ever before. So there we go, nice little surprise there. Now let's talk about the side of the car. Again, de-chrome these little things here. They're usually chrome, and we've just gone and glossed them out. And again, you could have picked up some eBay parts relatively cheap, but I'm not sure of the fitting like this. This is an OEM part. It's chrome underneath, and again, the wrap has held up quite well for the last, I don't know, 9 months or whatever it might have been, and there's no kind of signs of peeling or anything. So for a fraction of the price, you can just have them wrapped pretty good. And again, more wrapping going on here. I've had these wrapped, and I know you can get carbon wing mirror caps and what have you, but again, I'm a bit, you know, fussy when it comes to fitting, and they usually just have like a big sort of a gap around here, well, some of the ones I've seen, so I just went ahead and just got them wrapped. Again, fraction of the price really, and the wrap's kind of held up pretty good, and it complements the carbon roof pretty well, as you can see there, so I've got no complaints with that. So if you move around the rear end of the car, I've had the rear lights tinted out just because they just looked a bit too cherry red before, and again it kind of gives it a nice aggressive look now from the rear end. And obviously with most M cars, people generally put on like a carbon lip, and I've done the same here. I wouldn't say this is the best quality carbon, it's just kind of plastic with reinforced carbon on top of it, but it makes the back end look a little bit more aggressive. I might go ahead and change that at some point. The little diffuser thing down the bottom there, again, I've just swapped that one out for a black one just because it breaks up the whole white paintwork, and I've put on a black M4 badge just to de-chrome the whole thing. So I think the car itself is pretty complete. I might change out the chrome tips on that and go for some carbon ones at some point, but I think I'm quite happy with the way the car looks. It's finished off in the Alpine white, and all the black stuff set the car off. It just needs a wash. So in terms of the car, the way it's sitting, the suspension has been dropped by 20mm all round. I've got 12mm spacers on the front and 15 on the rear, so the stance is just perfect. As you can see right there, you can see like the back tyre just kicking out just a little bit, and it just makes the car just look a little bit more aggressive compared to how it was when it was stock. Because when it was stock, if I just show you here, I could get pretty much all 4 fingers straight through. Okay, but right now it's just perfect. I think there's a bit of a slant on the other side, so if we just come around here, yeah, can just about get 3 fingers in. And the rear as well, right now it just fills the arches, like I can kind of get 2 fingers in there, but previously my whole hand could just like literally just go straight in, and I just think that the car is now just sitting perfectly. So in terms of interior modifications, there's nothing really that I've done apart from put on these aluminium paddle shifter extensions. They look pretty cool. They fit over like the existing ones, and they've got a real nice kind of fit and finish and feel to them. There's not really much that I can do to the interior. I might at some point swap out the aluminium trim pieces on the interior for some carbon ones, but that I might do that. It's not high priority right now. So that's pretty much the modifications in terms of styling mods to the car, exterior and interior. So mechanically, other than modifying say the suspension, I've not really touched anything in terms of like say the engine mods. I don't really intend to get more power out of this car. I'm not intending to do, you know, boot mode. I'm not intending to remap the car. That's just me, you know. If I want more power, I'll go and buy a more powerful car, but I know there's people out there that have got like say 550, 600 horsepower by, you know, going stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, whatever it might be. That's just something that just doesn't appeal to me personally. So like I say, if I want more power out of this car, I'll just go and, you know, I don't know, buy an M5 or something like that. But in terms of like say what I've done modification wise to make this car drive a little bit better, I've gone for the GTS flash courtesy of Z Coding, you know, great guy, and he done the GTS flash on this car probably about October, November time last year, and trust me guys, that GTS flash has transformed this car in the way it drives. The gearbox, it's a DCT gearbox, it's got more smoother in terms of like say changing gears. It doesn't give you that horrible kick in like the back of your head when you're in like say the higher end or in level 3 of like say the ferocity of the gearbox. It's much more smoother. It doesn't, you know, wheel spin you in like say 3rd or 4th gear when you're changing. It plays with like say the diff as well, so it just manages that power a little bit better when you're flinging it around corners. The traction control isn't as intrusive, gives you a little bit more play, and the steering as well, it just feels like it's got a little bit more feel coming through. You know, it's still not as good as like a hydraulic system, but it's better than like, you know, what it was before. So it just makes the car a little bit more entertaining to drive, and it is just a flash. You know, you get it from like say the M4 GTS, whatever flash is running on those, and you just put it onto the same hardware as what the standard M4 and the M4 competition have. So it does really transform the car. It makes the car drivable a lot more when you're just flinging it around some corners. So about October time last year when I picked the car up, it had about 4,500 miles. For a 2-year-old car, it was pretty low mileage, and it was quite a bare stock blank canvas, and I knew what I wanted to do with it. I was after a white M4 with like the carbon roof, because you can get these with the sunroof, but then you don't get the carbon, and I kind of thought I'm going to make it my own, adding a bit of carbon, getting the car lowered and spaced, and you know, the black and the white is going to really set the car off, which I think that I've already achieved that. The only thing that I'm going to do now is I've got the car booked in at a company called Center Gravity in about a month's time, and I'm going to swap out the current springs that are on the car, which is a 20mm drop all around, and I'm going to go for some KW height adjustable springs, just because I think they might just ride a little bit better than what they're riding on at the moment. Because with these springs, they do a lot for aesthetics, but I just think that when you're pushing on quite a bit, you reach the limit of them quite quick. And I think with the height adjustable KWs, they might just work a little bit better for the way I drive my car. A lot of people that say that these cars are really twitchy. Nah, I've not found it twitchy whatsoever. I guess it all depends on how you drive it. Now, there's people out there that use the accelerator pedal as an on-off switch. Yes, if you do that, the car's going to get really skittish, but if you use it progressively, it puts the power down well. When I bought this car in October, I was really looking forward to, like, say, the summer months where I could get the car out and drive it. Little did I know that we'll be in lockdown. Now that the lockdown is easing, you know, I'm sure there's more car enthusiasts out there that are actually now enjoying their car as well. Last week I was out doing a photo shoot with my mate Sonny. I'm going to drop in all of those pics at the end of this vid as well, so definitely stay tuned to see what the car looks like in those pics. I think, you know, I think the car just looks absolutely amazing, like the way it is right now. Yes, we've got a sprinter sprinting on the road. Well, it's more of a jogger actually. Wow. Drop it down the gear. Throttle. What a car. What a car. Man, I've missed driving this so much. I'm sure you can see, like, the way I'm smiling, that this car is one of them that does put a smile on my face. I mean, if you've been following the channel long, you'll know that I've had an M140i, which I think as a day-to-day car is a better car compared to this, because it's just much more easier to live with. But those cars, trust me guys, they don't drive like this on these roads. I just love it. I absolutely love the M4. So I hope you found this video useful and informative, giving you a walk around of my M4 with all its modifications, exterior as well as the interior ones. If you've got an M4 and you're looking to do some light modifications, and hopefully this has given you some kind of like an inspiration. If you've, again, like I say, you found it useful, give it a like, share, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and hopefully guys, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye.